Every history book claimed to tell us the truth. But what about the stories they don't tell? Today, we're diving into the deepest rabbit holes of history, the unsolved mysteries, the missing pieces and the forgotten truths that could completely rewrite what we think we know about the past. Welcome to a journey beyond the pages of your history books. In this video, we're uncovering hidden truths and forgotten stories buried so deep in time that even the best historians struggle to find answers. From lost civilizations to vanishing figures in history, we'll explore the mysteries that continue to haunt researchers to this day. Imagine opening a history book and feeling as though something is missing, as if the words on the page only tell half the story. That's the allure of historical mysteries, the irresistible pull toward the unknown, the feeling that behind the neatly organized dates and names lies a whole world of secrets waiting to be uncovered. History, after all, isn't just about kings and empires, inventions and wars. It's also about the cracks in the timeline, the strange events and unexplained moments that no one can fully account for, and the people whose stories were swallowed by time before they could be written down. These mysteries call to us because they leave space for imagination, for theories, for discoveries yet to come. They remind us that no matter how much we claim to know about the past, there are entire chapters still hidden in shadow. And maybe that's what makes them so powerful. When we stumble upon an artifact with no clear explanation or read about an ancient civilization that suddenly vanished, it challenges the very idea that history is fixed and settled. It makes us realize how fragile our understanding really is. Each mystery is like a loose thread in the fabric of time, and pulling on it might unravel everything we thought we knew. That's why people keep coming back to these stories. There's a sense of unfinished business in them, a mystery begging to be solved. Take, for instance, the great civilizations that rose to glory and then disappeared without leaving behind enough answers to satisfy us. The Indus Valley, the Mayans, the Olmecs, these were real people with bustling cities, trade networks, languages, and cultures. Yet so much of their story remains untold because their scripts are undeciphered or their ruins speak only in whispers. When archaeologists unearth a crumbling temple or a set of mysterious carvings, it sets off waves of speculation. Who built this? Why was it abandoned? What did it mean to the people who lived here? The questions multiply faster than the answers, and before long, we're drawn into the same obsession that gripped explorers and historians centuries ago. But it isn't just ancient ruins and lost cities that pull us in. Sometimes the mystery lies in a single person or a single event that refuses to be fully explained. Think about the stories of figures like the man in the iron mask or the princes in the tower. These aren't just tales of intrigue. They represent missing pieces in the grand puzzle of history. We have records, clues, fragments of testimony, but no clear resolution, and maybe that's why they linger in our minds. A solved mystery becomes a story, but an unsolved one becomes a legend. What's fascinating is how this historical rabbit holes bridge the gap between past and present. As new technologies emerge, ground-penetrating radar, DNA analysis, satellite imagery, we keep peeling back layers of time, hoping to uncover definitive answers. Yet even with modern science, some mysteries refuse to yield. The Antikythera mechanism, often called the world's first computer, was discovered over a century ago, and we're still debating its true purpose. Every new study brings us closer, but at the same time, it deepens our wonder at how advanced ancient societies might have been. There's also something deeply human about our fascination with these mysteries. We are wired to seek patterns, to make sense of the world around us. So when history throws us a riddle with missing pieces, it gnaws at our curiosity. We can't help but imagine the possibilities. Did a forgotten invention change the course of civilization before vanishing into obscurity? Was there a lost kingdom whose knowledge could rewrite the history of science? Were there individuals whose lives, if fully understood, would change the way we view entire eras? The allure lies not only in finding the answers, but in the journey itself. The late-night debates, the historians piecing together clues, the thrill of discovering a document in some dusty archive that sheds new light on an old enigma. Even popular culture feeds off this allure. Movies, novels, documentaries, they all tap into our love for unsolved mysteries because they know it keeps us hooked. We want to believe there's more to the story, that somewhere out there is the missing link waiting to be found. It's why theories, some wild, some plausible, spread so quickly whenever a new discovery hits the news. We don't just consume history. We participate in its retelling, its investigation, its ongoing search for truth. History is often presented as a series of clear events neatly lined up like dominoes. This happened, then that happened, and here's why. But the truth is, the further you look into the past, the blurrier those lines become. Between the well-documented moments of history lie countless gaps, cracks in the record where questions outnumber the answers. And inside those cracks live the stories of people, places, and events that time seems to have tried to erase. These are the unsolved puzzles and forgotten tales that haunt historians and ignite the imagination of anyone who stumbles upon them. Consider the mystery of the lost colony of Roanoke. In 1587, more than 100 settlers vanished from the island off the coast of what is now North Carolina. When ships finally returned years later, the colony was deserted, its houses empty, its people gone without a trace. The only clue was the word Croatoan carved into a tree. To this day, no one knows exactly what happened to them. Did they join with local tribes? Were they killed? Did they move inland and start new lives somewhere else? Every theory offers pieces of a story, but none can stitch together the full picture. That single carved word stands as a reminder of how easily entire communities can vanish from history's pages. And Roanoke isn't alone. History is filled with civilizations and cities that rose, thrived, and then disappeared as though the earth swallowed them whole. Take the city of Cahokia in what is now Illinois. 1,000 years ago, it was bigger than London. Tens of thousands of people lived there, building massive earthen mounds, running complex societies, and then suddenly it was abandoned, no written records, no clear reason why. Theories range from climate change to political collapse, but the truth remains hidden beneath centuries of silence. Then there are the personal stories, the lives of individuals whose names are lost but whose mysteries endure. Think about the enigmatic Voynich manuscript, a book filled with strange illustrations and written in a language no one has ever been able to decode. Scholars have spent decades analyzing its pages, and still, no one knows who wrote it, what it says, or why it exists at all. Every time someone claims to have cracked the code, another expert proves them wrong. It's a riddle wrapped in parchment, daring us to understand it. Even more haunting are the stories of people who lived and died under circumstances so strange that they seem almost fictional. The disappearance of Ambrose Bierce, the American writer and journalist, is one such case. In 1913, he traveled to Mexico during its revolution and was never seen again. No letters, no remains, nothing to confirm what happened. He was a man who wrote about death and mystery, and in the end, his own life became one. Some say he died in battle. Others believe he simply chose to vanish. A few even claim he survived and lived out his life under another name. The lack of evidence keeps the speculation alive, turning his story into something larger than life. But what makes these forgotten stories even more intriguing is how they often hide in plain sight. A crumbling inscription on a temple wall, a map with an island that doesn't exist, a diary found in an attic with half its pages torn out. Each discovery feels like a clue left behind, daring someone in the future to put the pieces together. Sometimes it's not even the mysteries themselves that fascinate us most. It's the idea that entire worlds existed full of people with dreams, fears, triumphs, and tragedies, and now all that remains are fragments too small to tell the whole story. Modern science has tried to step in, of course. DNA analysis has solved some mysteries. Satellite imagery has revealed hidden cities beneath jungles and deserts, and archaeology has brought forgotten cultures back into the spotlight. But for every mystery solved, two more seem to appear. A shipwreck found at the bottom of the sea raises questions about who sailed it and why it sank. A set of strange bones found in a cave leads to debates over whether they belong to a lost species of human or a deformed child from centuries ago. The deeper we dig, the more we realize how much we still don't know. And maybe that's why these stories survive. A solved puzzle becomes history, but an unsolved one becomes legend. People pass them down not because they have answers, but because they don't They whisper through time like riddles, daring each new generation to try again, to search harder, to imagine wilder possibilities. These mysteries turn historians into detectives, scientists into storytellers, and ordinary people into explorers of the unknown. All because a single clue refuses to give up its secret. Every mystery has its breadcrumbs, and history's greatest enigmas are no exception. Over centuries, scattered pieces of evidence have surfaced, artifacts buried under layers of soil, forgotten manuscripts tucked into monastery walls, fragments of stories carved into stone or passed down through generations. Each clue feels like a key to a locked door, hinting at answers while refusing to give away the whole secret. The more we uncover, the deeper the rabbit hole goes, as if history itself enjoys playing this endless game of hide and seek with humanity. One of the most striking examples lies deep beneath the sands of Egypt. For centuries, explorers uncovered tombs filled with hieroglyphs, golden treasures, and mummified pharaohs. Yet, the Great Pyramid of Gizeh, the most studied monument in the world, still holds mysteries. In recent years, scientists used advanced scanning technology to peer inside without breaking its walls, discovering previously unknown chambers hidden within. What's in them? Some say storage rooms, others suspect secret burial sites or lost texts that could rewrite ancient history. For now, no one knows, and the clues only leave us with more questions than answers. Then there's the mystery of the Antikythera mechanism, often called the world's first computer. Found in a shipwreck off the coast of Greece over a century ago. This complex arrangement of gears and dials was built more than 2,000 years ago, long before such technology was thought possible. For decades, it baffled scientists. How could an ancient civilization have created a device so sophisticated it could track astronomical movements with remarkable precision? Even today, despite X-ray scans and painstaking reconstructions, we still debate its full purpose. Each new study uncovers more about its design, but also deepens our awe at the minds that built it. It's a clue that suggests ancient societies may have been far more advanced than our history books ever taught us. And it's not just objects that give us clues, sometimes it's landscapes themselves. Satellite imagery has revealed entire lost cities beneath dense jungles in Central America and Cambodia. For years, people thought stories about places like the legendary city of Mahendraparva in Cambodia were exaggerated myths. But then, from space, technology uncovered roads, temples, and complex water systems buried under centuries of vegetation. Each discovery forces us to rethink what we know about ancient engineering and the scale of civilizations we once dismissed as primitive. The land remembers even when people forget, and sometimes all it takes is the right tool to read its memory. DNA analysis has also breathed new life into old mysteries. The remains of the famous Iceman, Taisi, discovered in the Alps, told scientists what he ate, how he dressed, even clues about his final moments 5,000 years ago. The DNA of Egyptian mummies revealed complex family lineages of pharaohs, clearing up some historical debates while sparking new ones about how power truly shifted in the ancient world. Each bone, each strand of hair, each scrap of preserved tissue becomes a storyteller when modern science gives it a voice. But sometimes the clues we find are more confusing than clarifying. Take the case of the Voynich manuscript. Carbon dating tells us it was created in the 15th century, and detailed analysis has revealed the materials used in its pages. Yet, despite decades of study by linguists, cryptographers, and even artificial intelligence, no one can read it. Its strange language and bizarre drawings of unknown plants and constellations seem to belong to no known culture. We hold the manuscript in our hands, we know when and where it was made, but its purpose and meaning remain locked away, as if it were written not to communicate but to tease future generations with its silence. Even under the ocean, clues continue to emerge. The discovery of entire cities submerged off the coasts of India, Japan, and the Mediterranean raises questions about ancient sea levels, lost civilizations, and the possibility that entire chapters of human history now lie underwater. Structures resembling temples, walls, and streets challenge the timelines of when advanced societies first appeared. Each dive uncovers artifacts that shouldn't exist where they are, yet there they lie, stubbornly rewriting everything we thought we knew about the past. What makes these clues so compelling is the way they connect us to people who lived hundreds or even thousands of years ago. A carved stone tool tells us about survival. A scrap of parchment speaks of knowledge, trade, or faith. A buried coin hints at forgotten economies, vanished kingdoms, and rulers whose names have been erased by time. Together, these fragments build a bridge between then and now, but the bridge is full of gaps, forcing us to imagine what's missing. Every clue is a whisper from the past, urging us to look closer, dig deeper, and never stop searching for the truths hidden just out of reach. The past is often seen as something distant, locked away in dusty books and crumbling ruins, yet the mysteries it holds still shape the way we see ourselves and the world around us. These forgotten stories and unsolved puzzles aren't just echoes from another time. They carry lessons, warnings, and possibilities that are as relevant today as they were centuries ago. When we uncover a hidden chapter of history, we're not just learning about the people who lived before us, we're relearning about the forces that shaped our present, the paths we took, and the paths we lost along the way. Think about it. Every time we solve one of these mysteries, we gain a clearer picture of where we came from. The lost cities discovered under jungles or deserts tell us about human ambition, about cultures that thrived in ways we never imagined. They show us that history isn't a straight line of progress, but a patchwork of rises and falls, of brilliance and collapse. Understanding why these civilizations disappeared, whether through war, disease, climate change, or politics, gives us insight into our own vulnerabilities. It forces us to ask whether the challenges we face today have already played out before, whether the solutions lie in the experiences of people long gone but not forgotten. The unsolved stories also remind us of the limits of our knowledge. In a world where technology promises answers at the click of a button, where satellites can map entire continents and AI can analyze patterns in seconds, there's something humbling about the mysteries we still can't crack. The Voynich manuscript remains unreadable. The final fate of Roanoke settlers is still unknown. The purpose of Stonehenge continues to spark debate. These puzzles remind us that for all our progress, the past still holds secrets beyond our reach, and that mystery is part of what makes history endlessly fascinating. It keeps us curious, keeps us searching, keeps us questioning what we think we know. And then there's the human element, the emotional pull of these forgotten stories. When archaeologists uncover a child's toy buried in the ruins of Pompeii, or a letter written centuries ago by someone who feared they wouldn't survive the night, it stops being about kings, dates, or wars. It becomes personal. We start to see the people of the past not as distant figures, but as humans who loved, feared, dreamed, and struggled just like we do. Every artifact, every fragment of a story is a voice reaching out across time, asking not to be forgotten. That connection across centuries can be powerful, even transformative. These mysteries also challenge the official narratives we've been taught. History is often written by the victors, shaped by politics, power, and perspective. But the missing pieces, the stories buried in tombs, sunken ships, or coded manuscripts, don't always fit neatly into those narratives. Sometimes they reveal a more complicated, messier, and more interesting truth about who we are. They give voices to the people history tried to silence. The ordinary laborers who built empires, the women whose lives were left out of chronicles, the cultures dismissed as primitive until evidence proved otherwise. Solving these mysteries is about justice as much as it is about curiosity. It's about giving the past back its missing pieces, letting it speak in full. Even more intriguing is how these discoveries inspire innovation. Modern archaeology uses technology that didn't exist a decade ago, like our scanning through dense forests. Chemical analysis revealing the diets of ancient people, computer modeling recreating cities lost for thousands of years. In trying to solve old mysteries, we create new tools, new methods, new ways of seeing the world. And sometimes the answers we find have unexpected uses beyond history itself. Studying ancient diseases can help modern medicine. Understanding how past societies adapted or failed to adapt to climate change can guide our own survival strategies today. And let's not forget the way these stories capture our imagination. Entire genres of books, films, and documentaries thrive on the mysteries of the past. They fuel creativity, spark debate, and connect people across cultures and generations. A lost city revealed in South America becomes a global headline. A decoded manuscript sets off a wave of theories online. Each discovery turns the world into a classroom where anyone can join the search for answers. That shared sense of wonder, that feeling that there are still secrets out there waiting to be uncovered, unites us in a way few things can. Most of all, these mysteries remind us that history is alive. It isn't frozen in museums or trapped in textbooks. It evolves with every clue we find, every question we ask, every theory we challenge. The deeper we dig, the more we realize that the story of humanity is far from complete, and maybe it never will be. But that's the beauty of it, because as long as there are mysteries left unsolved, the past will always have more to tell, and the search for those hidden truths will never truly end. And so, as we stand here with fragments of the past in our hands, ruins half buried in deserts, manuscripts written in languages no one can read, artifacts pulled from the ocean's depths, we're reminded that history is never truly finished. It's a living puzzle, one that keeps reshaping itself every time a new clue emerges. The mysteries we've explored today aren't just tales of the past. They're invitations. Invitations to keep questioning, to keep searching, to keep asking what else might be hidden beneath centuries of silence. Because maybe the greatest discovery isn't a lost city or a forgotten manuscript. Maybe it's the realization that the story of humanity is far bigger, stranger, and more mysterious than we ever imagined. And perhaps that's the real treasure, knowing there are still secrets out there waiting for someone, maybe even you, to uncover them.